Story of why a Sikh girl converted to Islam. Assalamu alaikum. Here's my story. As I was getting older, in my teenage years, my dad always made me believe that all Muslims are bad people. They can't be trusted. The Muslim boys influence Sikh girls and take them to Pakistan and sell them there. But I always thought differently. To be everyone was always equal, disputing the fact what religion they were. I never chose my friends by religion. Eventually, I went to university where I met my best friend. She was the nicest Muslim that I had ever known. She was religious and wore a hijab. It made me think, how can all Muslims be bad if she's so nice? Although we were very different, we became very close. I used to go out, dress differently, and drink all the bad things you do when you're young. I never did those things when she was visiting me. I also became close friends with a Muslim guy. Eventually, we began dating. It became serious, but I always knew when I moved back home I had to leave him and marry a Sikh man. He taught me how to read the kalima. He wasn't a religious Muslim, as you can tell, so he never taught me anything about Islam other than reciting the kalima. Where I was living, I used to go past a mosque every day, and for some strange reason, the kalima used to come into my mind. Time went on. I lost contact with her. She got married and had problems. Then this strange thing happened on a night. I was sitting alone in my university flat and I noticed something on my hand. It looked like Allah sign on my hand, visible through my veins. I didn't think much of it and told my boyfriend, but he just got freaked out, but then we forgot about it. Eventually, I moved back home, but I was very unhappy. I thought it was because I was away from my friends and my boyfriend. I visited them every month. I got in touch with my friend again in 2006 and I showed her my hand. She was very surprised, but we didn't talk about it then. I tried to fit in with my family. I wasn't interested in marriage, which my parents started saying to me constantly, as I was still in love with my boyfriend. I tried my best to be happy, but I just couldn't. My parents didn't really understand. Then one day I was very distressed. I went to visit my friend. We talked and then she said, "Why don't you just pray like you normally do and ask God to lead you to your right path?" That night I dreamt about the Kaaba Sharif and I knew then I wanted to become a Muslim. I was very confused for a while, excited, but then unhappy because I would have to leave my family. I was happy because I thought I can then also marry my boyfriend and we can learn about Islam together. Time went on. Me and my boyfriend broke up. But I still wanted to become a Muslim. Day by day, I hated not being able to learn about Islam at home. I wanted to learn how to perform salah. Eventually, I left home without telling my parents. I didn't tell them at first that I had reverted. They forgave me and I visited them a few times. They had suspicions because I changed myself and the way I dressed. I haven't actually started wearing a hijab yet, but I have been advised and I believe that every step should be taken slowly. I do not want to wear it and take it off. I want to wear it and not ever take it off. My parents now know that I am a Muslim and they do not talk to me anymore. I have a strong iman and I believe that inshallah one day they will be Muslims. I shall be visiting Pakistan in September, inshallah. I cannot wait. I will be wearing a abaya and niqab for the first time, inshallah. Anyways, I want to write a book eventually of my story in depth and how I felt through this journey. This is just a brief summary. I am trying to get a clear picture of my hand and hopefully I will show you one day. Later on, my father phones me from time to time and I have started wearing hijab now. Zainab. Throughout history of Islam, propaganda lies have been circulated against Muslims by non-Muslims, whatever their religion or lack of religion, in the vain hope of preventing people from their community converting to Islam. A male Sikh convert to Islam said his father had told him many lies about Muslims, and this caused him to hate Muslims, and every time he saw a Muslim looking towards him, he assumed he was giving him dirty looks, which made him want to fight the Muslim. We know that even the biggest enemy of Islam, Abu Lahab, spread such lies about the Prophet, peace be upon him, which lead to an old woman becoming so afraid that she decided to leave Makkah. However, when she was leaving Makkah, a young man offered to carry her belongings, and he listened to story about why she was running away from Makkah. Who was this young man? He was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and when he told her who he was, she realized he was a good man and the people were lying against him. She realized he was the Prophet of God and thus converted to Islam. So for sure people will spread lies about Muslims and Islam and others will believe them. Yet, just like the old woman, there will be people who will convert to Islam when they realize what Islam says.
Allah Hafiz.